terminar con la lista de vocabulario y luego vamos a hacer algunas actividades del libro de texto y entonces ustedes van a tener una conversación. Va a ser una conversación bien simple, bien sencilla para empezar y vamos a añadir más información otro día. Por fin, para la tarea de esta noche, ustedes van a hacer actividades 1 a 5 en el paquete de ejercicios. Ya no tienen el paquete, yo voy a darles a ustedes el paquete antes de que termine la clase hoy. Pero las metas de esa lección son para ser capaces de pedir en un restaurante, en español, claro, y para también hacer comentarios sobre la comida y la calidad de la comida, los ingredientes que hay y tal vez los ingredientes que no hay o que le falta a la comida. Ok, muy bien, vamos a empezar con estas 6 preguntas. ¿Cómo se llama tu restaurante preferido? Bella, ¿cómo se llama tu restaurante preferido? Se llama Panera. Muy bien, se llama Panera. ¿Y tiene el restaurante una especialidad, señorita? Especialidad, es una palabra bien difícil para nosotros. Repitan, por favor, especialidad. Especialidad. Hola, señorita. La sopa de fideos. Una especialidad de Panera es la sopa de fideos. Pero también la especialidad de Panera es los sándwiches, ¿sí? Porque es un restaurante que especializa en el pan, ¿sí? Pan es el ingrediente principal en los platos en el restaurante de Panera. Pilar, ¿cómo se llama tu restaurante preferido? Mi restaurante preferido se llama Cancún, por supuesto. ¿Tiene el restaurante una especialidad y qué es?
Sí, tiene una especialidad, las enchiladas.
Oh, pues sí, la especialidad de mi restaurante preferido es las enchiladas. Las enchiladas. O sea, también la especialidad de este restaurante es la comida mexicana, ¿sí? La comida mexicana. Olga, ¿cómo se llama tu restaurante preferido? Tu restaurante preferido es Olive Garden. ¿Y tiene el restaurante una especialidad y qué es? No tiene una especialidad, toda la comida es rica, o también podemos decir, sí, la especialidad de la casa es la comida italiana, sí, porque es un restaurante italiano. Muy bien. Número 3, ¿con quién o con quiénes vas a este restaurante normalmente? Marisol. Normalmente mi familia y yo vamos a este restaurante. Mi familia y yo vamos a este restaurante normalmente. ¿Qué pides tú? Diego, ¿qué pides tú?
Pido sopa del día.
Pido la sopa del día. Muy bien. Pido la sopa del día. Pido el plato del día. Pido el bistec. Pido un sándwich gigantesco, ¿sí? Pido las enchiladas. ¿Quién paga la cuenta? Gabriela, ¿quién paga la cuenta?
Mi padre paga la cuenta.
Ujú. En mi casa, Tomás siempre paga la cuenta también. Yo nunca pago. Soy la mujer. Yo nunca pago. ¿Sí? Tomás, mi esposo, siempre paga la cuenta. ¿Hay alguien aquí que paga la cuenta? Casi nunca. ¿Sí? Porque ustedes esperan que su padre o su madre pague la cuenta. Quieren que los padres paguen la cuenta. Muy bien, número 6. I know my phone doesn't ring like that. I don't have a smartphone. I have a dumb phone. Probably Mrs. Melendez's phone. Entonces, ¿dejas una propina? María, ¿dejas una propina? Oh, pues, ¿sabes qué es una propina? ¿Sabes qué es una propina? Una propina es el dinero extra que pones en la mesa para el mesero o la mesera. ¿Sí? La persona que les sirve la comida es el mesero o la mesera. Pues, cuando sales del restaurante, dejas dinero en la mesa para el mesero. El dinero que dejas en la mesa es la propina. ¿Le dejas una propina? $10. Ay, yo quiero ser mesera. ¿Sí? $10 es mucho. ¿Sí? María, ¿dejas una propina? Eduardo, ¿dejas una propina? Dejo $2 a $5. ¿Cuál es el porcentaje recomendado para dejar de propina en un restaurante? Pues dicen 15%, pero si el servicio es bueno, es mejor dejar 20%. ¿Sí? 20%. Y si el servicio es así, entonces 15% es suficiente. Muy bien. Ok, ahora vamos a continuar con la lista de vocabulario. Por eso por favor saquen la lista de vocabulario y abran el libro, por favor, a la página 246. 246. Clase, hay unas expresiones en el libro de texto que no están en la lista. Hay unas expresiones en el libro de texto que no están en la lista. Es posible que quieren o van a querer escribir unas expresiones extras del libro de texto en la lista. O es posible que yo escribí otra forma de la expresión en la lista que hay en el libro de texto. Por eso es posible que querrán escribir otras expresiones en la lista también. Pero hoy, para empezar, vamos a empezar aquí para hablar de la comida, o sea, en la segunda página, con la expresión número 19, para hablar de la comida. Una de las metas de esta lección es ser capaces de hablar de la comida, del sabor de la comida. la calidad de la comida, y estas expresiones nos van a ayudar. Repitan, por favor, ¿qué tal está? ¿Qué tal están? En inglés, how is the, or how are the, and then you just put in the name of the food, and we're going to put that in there. Now, Lisbeth, I want to ask you this question. Is it possible to say, ¿qué tal los bocadillos? Yes. But you can leave the verb right out of the phrase. And this is why I asked Lisbeth, because that is my experience with my native speaker friends. They don't say, ¿qué tal está la sopa? They say, ¿qué tal la sopa? It's like saying, how's the soup instead of how is the soup? They just leave the verb out. My native speaker friends, they leave the verb right out of that phrase. But grammatically, to be grammatically correct, it needs to be ¿qué tal está? For something that's singular, and ¿qué tal están? For something that's plural. Keeping in mind that you may hear, when you're in the real situation, the phrase without the verb altogether. Repitan, por favor, los bocadillos. Los bocadillos. En inglés? I'm sorry? Finger food. Okay. For you, Lisbeth, what does bocadillos mean?
Yeah, like a little.
Snacks, tidbits, finger food. Okay, I get it. Bocadillo, boca means mouth, right? Bocadillos, now we made it smaller, so these are like little mouthfuls. Okay, the translation of it, or the derivation of that term, is little mouthfuls. So, how are the little appetizers? If you're in a restaurant, the appetizers, the snacks, okay? Los bocadillos. Repitan, por favor, las fresas. En inglés, strawberries. Repitan, por favor, los mariscos. En inglés, seafood. Do you see the word sea in it? Mar? Mar. Okay, this can also mean shellfish, los mariscos. Okay, shellfish or seafood. Repitan, por favor, la ensalada mixta. In English, we wouldn't say mixed salad in English. Tossed salad. Tossed salad. We wouldn't say mixed salad. We would say tossed salad. Always irritates me when I read a menu that reads toss salad, T-O-S-S, salad, instead of tossed. Okay. Repitan, por favor, la piña. En inglés, pineapple. El surtido de frutas frescas. En inglés, no. I'm glad you said fruit salad. It really isn't fruit salad. A fruit salad would be una ensalada de frutas frescas. A fresh fruit salad. Surtido means assortment. And this is where your textbook leads you astray. Okay? Un surtido is an assortment. And you will see that word surtido on many, many menus with all kinds of things. Un surtido de quesos. Un surtido de pan. Okay? Un surtido de vegetales. An assortment, a selection, okay, un surtido. Repitan, por favor, el caldo de pollo. In English? Okay. Now, for me that means something different than just chicken soup. It means chicken broth. Lisbeth? Caldo de pollo, what does it mean to you? Chicken broth. This means it has nothing but water and chicken juice. Chicken juice, okay? There's no vegetables in it. There's no noodles in it. So don't be led astray. El caldo de pollo is chicken broth. The word caldo means broth. Okay? Repitan, por favor, la sopa de fideos. En inglés, noodle soup. Repitan, por favor, la sopa de ajo. In English, garlic soup. Now I know that you're thinking, oh, Lord in heaven, I never want to eat garlic soup. But you do. It's awesome stuff. And garlic And it does have garlic in it, but it also has a lot of chicken broth and chicken and other things in it. It's a really tasty soup. In Mexico, when I go to Mexico, I've never looked at your menu to see if you guys do this. My favorite soup to eat there is sopa azteca, which is a chicken broth soup that has roasted garlic in it as well, and it's really, really good. You guys do that? Okay. I haven't missed anything yet. That I love to eat it when I go to Mexico. Repitan, por favor, el gazpacho. In English? Okay. Has anybody ever eaten gazpacho? The Dominican. Okay. Did you eat it cold? Okay. If you've never tried gazpacho, you should do it at least once. So to that end, we're probably going to try some gazpacho in this chapter, so that you will know what it tastes like. This is a cold soup that comes from Spain. But, as you well know, the Spanish influence is so prevalent throughout the New World that gazpacho is served in countries throughout Latin America. It is a cold soup. The basis of this cold soup is tomato juice. But it also then has usually green pepper, and it usually has cucumber, and it has garlic and onion. And those are blended together so that you don't see all of those vegetables. They just are added to the soup. Also, a main ingredient is vinegar. Okay, it's not overpowering, but it's vinegar in here as well. And when it's served, it depends on where you are in the world, how they serve it. In Spain, usually I just have it just like that. It's just that. Okay? But in some places, they will also then dice cucumber and onion and green pepper and maybe some grated cheese, and you sprinkle those into your bowl of soup and eat it. But it's served cold, and intentionally so, because you eat it in the hot climates. Okay? It's a cold soup for hot climates. So we're probably going to try some of that. I promise not to make you eat a lot of it. I promise not to force you to eat it if you don't want to. I'm not one of those kind of moms. Okay? But I think everybody ought to try something at least once. I'm one of those people. Okay. Repitan, por favor, la ensalada mixta is on there twice, isn't it? Okay, sorry, my bad. Repitan, por favor, el pollo asado con gandules. En inglés, roast chicken with pigeon peas. Okay. Now, anybody in the room ever eaten pigeon peas? Probably not. They are native to the Caribbean, and you can buy them. I searched some pigeon peas to Spanish 4 earlier this year. I had to go to Meyer to find them, but I could find them in the international section in a can. Pigeon peas. They are similar to black-eyed peas. Okay, so it's kind of it's a legume, special legume, but it's prevalent throughout the Caribbean, especially. But, and since we're talking about Puerto Rico, you might see it there. In the Dominican Republic, it is a major dish in the Dominican. Did you have gandules while you were there? You saw them. So what do they call them? Peas. Or beans? Okay. No, because chickpeas are round and tan, and they're really dense and very fibrous. But gandules, pigeon peas, Black-eyed peas are more of a white bean, a lot softer in texture, not as hard as a chickpea is. Okay? Chickpea or garbanzo, also known as garbanzo. Repitan, por favor, el bistec a la parrilla. In English, grilled steak. Now, that phrase, that part of the phrase, a la parrilla, means on the grill. La parrilla is the actual grate. If your family still has a charcoal grill instead of a gas grill, okay, that round thing with all the silver stripes on it, that's la parrilla. That's the grill top thing, okay? It is not the solid heated surface that you often call a grill, okay? It is the slatted one with the heavy gauge wire. That is la parrilla. And you can have anything cooked a la parrilla. A la parrilla is the way you describe that cooking style. Grilled, a la parrilla. Okay? If it says a la plancha, that is the solid grill. Okay, like at McDonald's where they cook the burgers, that's a solid metal grill. At Burger King, they do them on a parrilla, and at McDonald's, they do them on a plancha. Did you realize that? At Burger King, they go through an oven where on a little rack, and there's fire that comes up and cooks them. Theoretically, I mean, if fast food could be healthy, theoretically, it makes a difference in the taste. The way it's cooked. The solid iron surface, that's the plancha. And the open grill work is la parrilla. A la plancha, a la parrilla. A la parrilla. Repitan, por favor, el bistec encebollado. In English? Okay, steak with onions. Do you see onion in the middle of encebollado? Cebolla, C-E-B-O-L-L-A, that is the word for onion, cebolla. So this is a steak that has been onioned, right? And cebollar is to onion a steak. So they grilled some onions and put it on top. Okay, it's an onioned steak. It's literally the derivation of that term. Of course, in English, we would never say, I want an onion steak. We say, I want a steak with onions, and that's why you translate it the way you do. Okay. Repitan, por favor, las chuletas de cerdo con habichuelas. In English? Pork chops with beans. Habichuelas. For you, Lisbeth, what are habichuelas? Describe them. What they look like, their physical attributes. They're small. Okay, what color are they? They're brown. They're like what other kinds of beans? Pinto beans. Okay, so this is more like what you know as chili beans, pinto beans, kidney beans. They're dark, they're a brown color, smaller than kidney beans, but of that same kind of physical appearance, but smaller than that, okay? Don't mistake these habichuelas with green beans, okay? We have the word bean is a problem for us when we translate to other languages because we have so many things that we call a bean that are very different in nature. This is, the habichuela is a legume, okay, like a kidney bean but smaller, brown in color, okay, more like what you would call a chili bean or a red bean. Black beans are about the same size as habichuelas. Repitan por favor el agua mineral. In English, mineral water. Repitan por favor el café. In English, coffee. El té. In English, why does that have an accent mark when it's only one syllable? So it's not like the pronoun. So you know that this is the noun, team. Okay? Repitan, por favor, el flan de vainilla. In inglés? Okay, have I ever made flan for you? Nobody? Nobody. Oh, golly. Guess I'll have to do that too. Okay. Do you know what flan is? So we were going, please don't make it for us. No, it's a very popular dessert, not just in Latin American countries, but all over the world. In fact, the one country that doesn't eat much of it is the United States. Why do you think we don't eat much of it? Right, it doesn't have as much sugar in it. We don't like it as much. We're not fans of it because it's not loaded with sugar. Now, I'm sorry? Right. They use, in other countries, they use such a small fraction of the sugars that we use here, and they use different kinds of sugars than we use here. Flan is an egg custard, essentially. It's made with egg and milk. This one is made with vanilla. You can have other flavors in there too, but egg and milk and vanilla. And for a caramel flan, you melt sugar and line a baking dish with it, with this melted sugar. It hardens in that baking dish. Then you pour this egg custard in it and you bake it in the oven in a water bath, which means that it's in a pan that has water, and you suspend this pan in that pan so that it's not touching a surface, it's just the water begins to boil underneath it, and that's what cooks it. And then you chill it, then you put a plate on top of it and turn it over, and the custard comes out, and this syrup then has this sugar that was melted, has remelted again and flows out over the top of it. So it's an egg custard with a caramel sauce. Not thick, gooey caramel like melted, you know, the ones you do caramel apples out of, not like that. A thin caramel syrup. Okay, I guess we're going to have to eat one of these days. We're just going to have to plan a day to eat. Repitan, por favor, las fresas con crema. En inglés? Strawberries with cream. Okay. Repitan, por favor, está muy sabroso. Están muy sabrosos. Ricos. Aguados. Picantes. Alright. Sabroso. Tasty. Delicious. Rico. Delicious. Okay, just another rich, delicious. Okay. Aguado, watery. Now this is, it's like saying watered. It's been watered down. It's watery. It's thin. Okay. Picante, spicy. Do not use the word hot. Okay. It does mean hot as in spicy hot, but let's use the word spicy. Repitan, por favor, te lo recomiendo. Te la recomiendo. Okay, one of the grammar codes in this lesson is using two object pronouns together, an indirect object pronoun and a direct object pronoun in front of a verb. And so we're going to be practicing with that in this lesson. This is an example of that. To you, it, I recommend, or to you, them, I recommend. This is something you would say to somebody that is you're at your table with you, one of your friends. How does it have to change if it's the waiter or waitress making the recommendation to you? Se lo recomiendo, or se la recomiendo. Se la recomiendo. If the waiter or the waitress is making the recommendation, it has to be formal. So te has to change to se. Okay. Next page. Número 42. Repitan, por favor. Le falta sal. Le falta sabor. Le falta no sé qué. Okay. Le falta sal. En inglés. I'm sorry? Okay, it doesn't have enough salt. Literally it says, to it is lacking salt. Okay? It needs some salt. It lacks salt. To it is lacking salt. Okay? Le falta sabor. En inglés, it lacks flavor. It lacks flavor. Okay? Le falta no sé qué. En inglés, what did you say? It needs something? Okay, better, but it literally says it lacks I don't know what. We might say it's missing something, right? It needs something. Le falta no sé qué. It lacks I don't know what. It needs something. Repitan, por favor, está echada a perder. En inglés, it's spoiled. Thrown out to loss is really echada a perder, thrown out to loss. Okay, it's spoiled. Repitan, por favor, está quemada. En inglés, it's burnt. Now, by the way, this can be plural. You could say están echadas a perder, están echados a perder, están quemados. These are adjectives that can be changed, okay? Burned. Repitan, por favor, está en su punto. En inglés, it's just right. It's at its point. Meaning, this is something you'd see in the Three Little Pigs. It's just right. Right, that's what it was. Woo! I'm bad. Yeah, it's been a lot. You can see how long it's been since I did any nursery runs. Okay, está en su punto. Repitan, por favor, está exquisito. En inglés, it's wonderful. It's exquisite. It's wonderful. Repitan, por favor, está perfecto. En inglés, it's perfect. Repitan, por favor, sopas y entremeses. En inglés, soups and appetizers. Soups and appetizers. Repitan, por favor, platos principales. En inglés, main dishes. Repitan, por favor, bebidas. En inglés, drinks. Repitan, por favor, postres. En inglés, desserts. Y aquí tenemos unos ingredientes. Repitan, por favor, la lechuga. En inglés, lettuce. Repitan, por favor, el plátano. En inglés, banana. Now, plátano, it depends on what country you're in, what word they use for banana. It could be plátano, it could be banana. And plátano can mean something quite different from the little yellow thing that you like to eat. Okay? It is a plantain. Did you eat some plantains when you were in the Dominican? Caramelized. Nice. Oh, caramelized plantain for breakfast. Awesome. Okay, it is a side dish typically, can be a main dish, as she said, for her breakfast, could be also a side dish for other meals. A plantain can be as long as this. It looks like a banana, but it's bigger around and it's longer. Usually, typically, served as a side dish. It is sliced on a diagonal, fried in a frying pan. They'll take it out of the pan, smash it. Once it's warm, they'll smash it, return it to the pan, and fry it some more. But you said it was caramelized. So, okay, so was it a sugar caramel sauce, or was it an onion caramel sauce? Okay, it was this. Right. So again, cooked with sugar, caramelized as a side dish for breakfast, often cooked with salt as a side dish for other meals of the day. It might remind you of, when it's a side dish for later meals in the day, it might remind you of squash in that it's kind of tasteless. I mean, you know how squash really doesn't have a real strong flavor to it, but it has more of the texture of the banana that you're used to. Okay, so it's firm, can be firmer. So, would you agree with that, Olga? Yes, it's a caramelized as a side dish for breakfast. It's this nice little sweet accompaniment. Side dish with salt for lunch or dinner. That nice little alternative to maybe potatoes or rice or something like that becomes your side dish. And they're called tostones when they're sliced and fried with salt. It's called tostones. Repitan, por favor, la pera. En inglés? Did you get that one? Repitan, por favor, el aceite de oliva. En inglés? Olive oil. You may or may not be aware that most of the rest of the world cooks with olive oil rather than vegetable oil. In the U.S., we are big on vegetable oil, but most of the rest of the world cooks with other kinds of oils. Olive oil, coconut oil, peanut oil, soybean oil, and other blends. But we tend to major in the vegetable oils. If you're interested in diet and all that other stuff, you want to explore the oils that you're eating in terms of what's good for you, good fats, sat fats, all of that other stuff. You might decide to make a switch from vegetable oil to another one of the omegas. Okay? Repitan, por favor, el vinagre. El vinagre. Okay, now I think it's only fair to warn you that in this lesson, we're going to have an oral assessment because there's just so much here about ordering in a restaurant and it's so important. We're going to have an oral assessment in this lesson with this conversation. There will be a different oral assessment for the test, okay? So I just want you to be aware you're going to take 2 in this chapter, simply because this is such an important context for those of you who are ever going to use this language for real. Yes, sir?
Will this first exam be graded with an on-set quiz, or is this going to be something?
It's going to be its own thing. It's going to be 20 points of its own thing.
Will it be an assessment score?
It will be an assessment score, because it's so important for you to learn these phrases. Okay? Muy bien. To that end, let's get started on the conversation part of it. I'm going to change my plans just a little bit.